This is Jordan Harrelson again, here with another 15 minutes. First 15, I should say. This time we're doing Crimson Spires. And I'm sure you might be wondering to yourself, why exactly would I go with this one? Is it because I'm involved with this game? And the answer is yes, of course it is. At any rate, I'm going to start the timer, and we'll just play the first 15 minutes. Here we go. I've come to believe that the whole world is an enigma, a harmless enigma that is made terrible by our own mad attempt to interpret as though it had an underlying truth. Umberto Eco. Galats. That's wrong. Pendulum. On a brisk autumn evening, the drive from Cape Girardeau, that's wrong as well, to St. Louis feels like my reward for a job well done. The air is sharp and crisp. Colors dance before my eyes from the shifting sunset. It all seems so perfect and peaceful until... I'll do the voice of the chick as well. This is Special Agent Wright. I'm currently driving on the interstate, so please call back unless this is urgent. Erica, thank God. Chief Morris? I can give you a full report on of the trial tomorrow morning. Right now, as I said, I'm... Yes, I know how you feel about vehicle safety, but this is urgent. Where are you right now? I'm on my way to St. Louis. I can't give you an exact location right now, but I passed Perryville approximately 10 minutes ago, and my speed is... Close enough. A prisoner transport van crashed near your location. A team is on the way, but you're a lot closer. I understand. Who's the prisoner in transport? August Flynn. My hand tightens on the steering wheel as the car swerves slightly. Do you mean the serial killer? The Heartbreaker? That's the one. Shit. Let the record show that on this day, the 10th of September, I got Erica right to curse. This isn't the time for jokes, Morris. What's the van's location? Morris's info sends me even deeper into the woods of rural Missouri, down winding roads past miles of farmland to a small town called Batale. As I approach the town... What the... Oh, Jesus. It's Man-Bear Peg. I swerve to the shoulder barely in time to keep from hitting some sort of large creature. Too large to be a deer. Could it have been a bear? My heart is racing. I struggle to catch my breath. If I had reacted a second later, both the animal and I might be dead. In any case, I managed to avoid the crash, and time is of the essence, so I resume driving. And scene transition. I don't get much further before I see it. A crunch van leans face first against the side of the road. Metal and glass debris cover the ground in all directions. What could have caused a crash like this? The van shouldn't have been driving very fast. Why was the transport van in Batale in the first place? It's all so strange, and I suddenly wish I had kept Morris on the phone to ask more questions. But I don't have time for such curiosity now. Lives are at stake. Oh, look at that, neato. You gotta move. Oh, okay. So... Oh, okay, cool. Huh. Alright. Huh. Okay, alright, right, back on track. Oh my god, look at all the dead bodies. There's so many dead people. Uh-huh. I see that the doors are wrenched open. Spatters of blood gleam in the smashed interior. Below the open door, the body of a federal marshal lies limp. Crap. I see several dead bodies around the van. It's probable they died from injuries in the crash, but one of them... I lean down to examine his injuries. His neck is red and scraped, and it seems he was strangled to death. August Flynn did this. My hand goes to my gun. I straighten back up and I scan the area. I see a small splash of blood. I see a small splash of blood several yards away. Perhaps August or another survivor fled the crash while wounded. A blinding flash of lightning splits the sky. Thunder strikes the earth right after, punching my eardrums. I see the silhouette of a large mansion on a hill in the distance. No time for sightseeing. A dangerous killer is on the loose. We're gonna follow this blood. Where does it go? The trail is sparse, but I follow the specks of blood to a small liquor store. I rap on the door with the fastest flurry of knocks I can muster. FBI! Please answer the door. This is Special Agent Erica Wright, and with the The door wrenches open. On the other side stands a gruff, disheveled man in his 50s. I flash my badge at him.
FBI? What the hell are you doing here?
Sir, were you aware of the crash just down the road?
What crash? I guess I heard something. I thought it was thunder.
Sir, has anyone suspicious or unfamiliar come to your shop within the last 15 minutes?
Just some FBI agent banging on the door after hours.
I swallow my frustration and conclude that this man will be of no help to me whatsoever. A dangerous criminal is in the area. Please remain indoors and alert authorities if you encounter a Caucasian male in his 30s with blonde hair.
Any criminal I meet can say hello to the Remington 12 gauge I keep on my desk. Thanks for your concern, officer, but I'll be fine on my own.
He shuts the door in my face. The sky grumbles. I look up. A heavy wave of rain rushes to the earth. The blood was hard enough to see in the dark. Now it's hopeless. Clearly August was headed away from the town. I doubt he'd go into the woods during a storm, so all I can do is head down the highway. Just as I'm about to leave the liquor store.
Ah, Agent Wright, you're here.
Well, that's...
Thank God.
Well, that guy sure sounds familiar. A very handsome man wanders up my way. I really like the sound of his voice. So, yeah, this is my character. A familiar man emerges from behind the store. I recognize him as Bradley Jones, a federal marshal I've worked with on a few cases. He was most likely one of the officers transporting August, and the only one to survive the crash. It's good to see you, Jones. Catch me up on what's going on here.
We pulled up at a gas station just outside of Battelle. Just as we were pulling out, I think a bear appeared next to the van.
A bear?
I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but something was definitely there. Finlay, the driver, he started to have a panic attack. He thought it was chasing us.
Bears don't usually chase cars.
We tried to get him to calm down, but he wouldn't stop speeding. I offered to drive, but he refused to stop. Someone grabbed the wheel. It might have been me. Then everything went black. I woke up. Finlay, Miller, Gant. They were all dead. I guess I was the lucky one.
And August Flynn?
Gone. I think he killed Gant and escaped. Don't know why he spared me. Maybe he thought I was dead.
We have to find him.
I thought he might be hiding behind the store. He definitely didn't head into town, and there's nothing that way for miles.
More agents are on their way. We'll canvass the woods when we can.
Well, if I'm gonna sit here and wait for him, not after what that monster did to Gant.
I wasn't planning on waiting. Every minute he gets further away. Are you okay to keep going?
My head hurts, but nothing I can't deal with.
He's on foot and injured. He was headed this way, so I hope we can catch him.
Thanks for the help, Agent Wright. I'm so glad you're here.
Ooh, what a sultry, smooth voice you have.
Well, I guess until the cavalry arrives, it's just the two of us.
Oh, you playboy, please. Then let's get to work. I feel my heart start to flutter for Jones, clearly the most handsome. We search the nearby road and woods, but we find no more signs of the Heartbreaker. Meanwhile, Jones is more injured than he's letting on, dragging his foot behind him. I start to wonder if he left the trail of blood himself. If so, are we even going in the right direction? I suggest we return to my car and continue the search by vehicle. Jones agrees, and we retrace our steps back to the crash. Suddenly, another flash of lightning distracts me for just a second. I see a dark shape on the edge of my vision start to turn.
Erica, watch out!
Huh? I draw my gun and spin around, but I'm not the one. the one our attacker goes for. No, he's smarter than that. He goes for the injured one. He rushes from the woods so fast I barely have time to face him before he tackles Jones and pulls him to his feet. He's wearing prison garb, but his hands and feet are free. He holds a sharp piece of glass and presses it to Jones's neck. August Flynn, drop the gun, drop the weapon now or I shoot.
Don't be too hasty, Agent. If you fire a shot, my hand might slip.
He's got a good voice, too. I realize my own hands are shaking. I've never been in a hostage situation like this. I half expected August Flynn to be a raving madman. Instead, his gaze is icy and hollow, sending a chill down my spine. You have nowhere to go, Heartbreaker. Reinforcements are on the way.
Please don't call me that. August will do. As for your reinforcements, perhaps they'll meet the same sorry fate as our van on the way to Battelle.
What are you talking about? The bear? August prods Jones gently with the tip of the glass.
Do you really think it was a bear, Jones?
I don't know. I didn't get a good look.
Well, I did. As did the poor driver of that van. He knew what he'd seen. And if you ask me, he acted quite appropriately.
I feel anxious standing here talking rather than taking action. But in truth, it's useful to stall until reinforcements arrive. So what do you think you saw, August?
I don't think you'll believe me, and I wouldn't blame you. But I don't think that creature we encountered is documented in any science book. A priori, the only word to describe it is monster.
Oh, come on.
Was it a bear? I doubted it. But I'm not inclined to believe August's far-fetched version of events either.
So you see, Agent, there are monsters nearby much more dangerous than I.
August makes small steps, moving them both backwards. Not another step!
Truly, Agent, I would not advise trying to shoot me in these circumstances.
He keeps moving, but unfortunately he's right. If I try to shoot him, I could easily shoot Jones instead. Or August will use that shard of glass on Jones's throat. My heart races. What can I do? I've always had good aim, but my hands don't feel steady. I have to do something. I can't just stand here.
Okay.
Let's wait it out. No one has to get hurt here today. It can be long before backup arrives. I was the closest agent, but there will be others. There's only one road into town, too, so if I can keep them close. I suppose this is where you make your demands.
My demands?
This is a hostage situation, isn't it? You don't really want to hurt Jones. You want something. You want a way to escape, I'm guessing.
If I'm being honest, I didn't really think about it. I'm playing the situation by ear. This wasn't some master plan of mine, you know.
Well, now's your chance to give it some thought. He tightens his grip on the shard of glass, at which I watch carefully, hoping he'll slip and cut himself, giving me a moment to
I
act.
suppose I should ask for your car keys. The van certainly isn't going anywhere, and I don't see any other way out of this town before your reinforcements arrive.
If I give you the keys, will you give me Jones?
Of course not, then you will just shoot me.
Clever bastard. I won't shoot you if you don't hurt him.
I'm not a fool.
Then what's your plan? Take Jones with you?
Yes, and he can do the driving. Once we're far enough out of town, I'll let him go.
I'm not a fool either, August.
You arrested the wrong person. I'm not the Heartbreaker. I'm not a killer.
You're sure acting like one.
I'm trying to survive.
He's talking. That's good. Maybe if I can keep him occupied a little longer. Then tell me, what's your side of the story? Why were you arrested?
You're going to have to ask your colleagues that. Now, I think you're trying to stall, so...
The shit. I jolt, almost dropping my gun as an eerie wail splits my ears. The ground rumbles. Light flashes in my eyes. What's happening? August and Jones are struggling again. The noise must have distracted August long enough for Jones to make a move. I rush towards them, look for an opening, and ram my fist into August's face. August staggers backwards. Jones breaks free and then recovers his own gun. A few breaths later, we both have August at gunpoint. August, meanwhile, here stares at something else.
What the?
I see a big LED cross. Cyber Jesus? Something is rising out of the ground. More than one. Metallic structures wide enough to fit several people inside, and tall enough to... I don't even know how tall they are because they seem to stretch into the sky. For a moment, I wonder if they will keep rising, but they finally stopped. I struggle to remember my purpose. I lift my gun and advance on August again. Get on your knees! His face pale, August complies. His gaze remains on the tower.
It's happening.
What's happening? Do you have any idea where this is? This tower came from? Jones seems to have forgotten about August completely. He approaches the tower, gaping.
There's some sort of mechanism on the left and right side, like a laser sensor.
He keeps walking around. His hand passes over the sensor. Ah! Jones, no! Jones falls to the ground with a splash of blood. Well, that's 15 minutes on the dot. I think that's the best place to end this. Yep, so I die pretty quickly. That's the end of Jonesy. As for my personal opinion on this game, I actually haven't played it yet. I'm waiting for the full updated release to come out, which is supposed to come out in full sometime this year in 2021. But it's been a hell of a project to work on, as you just saw. Poor Jonesy. But anyways, that's the first 15 for this round. I'm Jordan Harrelson. Take care.